Jim, what may be our final question, we shall see. Sent to CornyDriveThru at gmail.com from
I can tell you which way I'm voting, but go ahead.
From Matthew in Humboldt. The recent A&E biography featuring Bret Hart showed the Hitman's talent as an artist and cartoonist. It's known that Bret would often draw cartoons in the locker room to entertain the boys. My question is, if Bret ever drew a cartoon featuring Jim, does Jim have any stories or memories of any of Bret's locker room cartoons? And if I could expand this a little further, Jim, other than Bret and Lawler, were there other guys known as locker room artists? Tony Atlas, I guess?
Yet to Adrian Street. Well, the question first, no, I don't remember ever being cartooned, lampooned, caricatured, or whatever by Bret. I've got one that Lawler did of me. I've had hanging on my office wall here. But I remember seeing a bunch of Brets. I mean, he could do it anywhere. If he just came in the locker room and if we were in a place where there was a chalkboard, like sometimes the sports locker rooms have the chalkboards for the coach and everything, he'd just find a couple of pieces of colored chalk and draw some kind of thing. When you'd go in, it looks like at Chili's when they do the menu on the blackboard. It was really nice looking, but he'd just draw some caricature of some of the guys doing something. And as you mentioned, they showed some of them. And Adrian Street was the same way in the dressing room I remember one in Memphis he drew because he had known Jonathan Boyd and Luke Williams, who were the pairing of the Sheepherders at that time. This was 1982, 83. He'd known them from, years before because they'd all traveled the world. And especially Luke, Jonathan was always grumpy, but Luke was a fun-loving, a wonderful guy and always laughing. I remember Adrian sat down one time at one of the spot shows that we were in a high school, and there was a sketch pad. And we look around 30 minutes later, and there is a big caricature on this 18 by 24 inch sketch pad paper of the Sheepherders, Luke Williams and Jonathan Boyd, with the Boyd's bald head and Luke's tongue out and slobbering and sweat coming off of him. And they're flying the New Zealand flag. Remember the Sheepherders flag that they used to have? And it wasn't until you looked close, you realized that the Sheepherders flag pole was Luke Williams's veiny, fucking throbbing 3-foot-tall dick that he was holding as the flagpole. Because Adrian always put a little X-rated stuff into his caricatures. And Lawler could do that. He could sit down and just, sketch anything that he saw or anything from memory even. I've watched him do it. So, but yes, in answer to the original question, Bret did a lot of those. As you can see from the A&E biography, apparently he kept them, and they're in multiple file folders that he had for just such an occasion. A lot of the guys, Lawler ripped something off and just handed away, or Adrian would whatever, but Bret kept a lot of his shit. But yeah, it was just something to do to break everybody up, give somebody a tickle, relieve tension, or just whatever, or just pass the time. And it's amazing that some of those guys have the talent to see that and do that. And that was always, Lance Russell used to make this point, and I believe it. If you're an artist, you have to have incredible hand-to-eye coordination. You have to be able to put your hand in minute increments exactly where you want it, right? And you have to be able to see something clearly and look at it. And that's what he attributed to Lawler's almost science fiction-like ability to fucking throw a punch to within 1/8 of an inch of what he's fucking doing, or just all the things, the hand-eye coordination. And you see with Bret, his shit always looked good and was sharp, but didn't hurt people. Part of it's athletic ability, but part of it has to be your coordination from the way your brain processes things. And it seems to be more helpful if you're an artist than if you're the goddamn guy that pumps the septic tanks out.